Final turn of Geronimo. Lighting's a little better, but I bought a stupid energy efficient bulb and it doesn't work as well as it claimed it did. Certainly not as well as the same supposed wattage of a regular incandescent. Alright, what do we got though? The third player, who was in the lead after having come from far, far behind, got the U.S. again. And that means that everyone pretty much has to gang up on him, which is kind of cool, but it's going to be tough to prevent him from getting some decent points. So the Comanche disappeared last turn. They went on reservation, even though they're fairly large still. I think they went at their minimum strength, something like 6. So there are only really 2 players who hold decent stuff. There's the Sioux, and we don't know who has them yet, but it's going to be one of the last 2 players in terms of victory points. And then there's the Arapaho, which is still pretty potent at an 8. And they probably took the Blackfoot along with them at a 4. Everything else is pretty damn crappy, to tell you the truth. Whoever got the Sioux probably got stuck with the Navajo. They may try to escape into Mexico. Or New Mexico even. That's pretty clean right now. The 2 Washington tribes aren't too bad. But, you know, I mean, the strength of the natives is just so weak compared to what it was, say, at the beginning of the game. The Sioux are still potent, though, and they can still score some serious points, I would guess. First time around the board here on turn 8, and the U.S. seems to be doing perfectly fine. Even the big old Sioux didn't manage to do anything, attacking a town in Minnesota. Had a railway in Oregon broken. That's about the extent of the real damage they've done. The Crow up in Montana knocked out a mine, but that doesn't affect statehood chances. It just gives some victory points. Second time around the board on the last turn. Everybody's doing about equivalent in terms of the Indian players, around 5 points, a little bit more, a little less. One exception is probably the guy who had the Crow over here. The Arapaho ended up getting a bad blood card, playing it and wiping the Crow out, so that's -3 victory points for losing their tribe. The Yakima, who are sitting down here, are definitely a possible point sink as well. That's about it. I don't know. Oh, not the Yakima, the Navajo. Sorry. Yeah, that's why. I don't know who owns them, but they're pretty much doomed to extinction unless they give the U.S. 2 points, and they're kind of holding off on making that decision. So, here at the end of the game, I haven't counted up points yet, but the only tribes left on the board are the Yakima up in Washington, who are fairly healthy, considering. The Blackfoot in Montana, who are not at all healthy, but the Arapaho down in Wyoming, who, gotta roll for them. Gotta roll for both of them. Blackfoot, yeah, Arapaho. Let me check these. Yeah, so the Blackfoot are going on reservation. The Arapaho are not. And then the 2 Sioux tribes are both okay. Point-wise, the U.S. is only going to get North Dakota as a state. They were unable to get Wyoming over, but they did maintain everything. And then the 2 tribes that went over on reservation. Oh yeah, and we have the Sioux. I don't know if I mentioned, but they're pretty damn healthy still. So then after tallying up the points, the U.S. wins pretty major victory, or player 3. He's at 90 points. The next closest competitor is at 70. Everybody else is within 2 points of each other. But, you know, the lead player getting the U.S. on the last turn is just one of those things. I'll be back to talk about the wrap-up